So this is the first episode of the Bouncing Back podcast with Kristin and Jesus. Say hi, Kristin.
Hello.
Okay. So this is basically our first podcast back from quarantine time, pandemic time, whatever you want to call it.
hmm
It's been a hectic time, that's for sure.
Yes.
So vaccinations, I'm fully vaccinated. What about you over there?
Same.
Why did you decide to get vaccinated?
Because I really don't want COVID. And I'm super paranoid.
Same here. Same here. I know a few people around me who got COVID during the last 3 months, which is insane
Mm-mm.
because I would have expected people to learn their lesson after almost a year. But you know, it is what it is. We're getting through it. We're finally coming out the other end, hopefully.
It's funny though, because you've actually gone out. I haven't. I
I've
got the
gone
vaccine and I'm still not going out anywhere.
I've gone out of necessity. It's been like crazy for me. I've been quite anxious. It's not the easiest of times, but going out has been a little bit more of pushing the boundaries and getting out of my comfort zone and actually doing stuff. I'm super sore right now because for the last 3 days straight, we've gone to play futsal for between an hour to 2 hours each day. And after more than a year of not doing much, heavy exercise just seems crazy.
Mm-mm.
What are some things that you're looking forward to doing again?
Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, I've gone to stores, but like I haven't gone out to a restaurant. I haven't done any of that stuff. So maybe that.
The crazy part is I've gone to restaurants, but we spent, I would say, a good hour moving around trying to find the least crowded restaurant that still serves stuff outdoors
hmm
because we're not comfortable indoors yet and we're not comfortable around people.
It's funny though, because you're in California.
Yeah.
So I know the vaccination rate is much higher than here.
Not necessarily. I don't have the statistics in front of me, but it's dropped off a lot. I really hope people are considering going to get their vaccines, even though they don't want to. There's a lot of incentives now. There's winning, season tickets to this, or go see the Lakers or the Clippers now, or whatnot. The Dodgers, I know, gave away a lot of tickets for people who haven't gotten the vaccine to win. And there's now, which is pretty cool, I think, sections at stadiums where it's
Only vaccinated people.
yeah. And there was that
Oh my God, I
cool
hope they do that
concert.
for concerts.
There was a concert where people who were vaccinated got tickets for close to free,
Oh my God,
and
I saw that.
the people who weren't vaccinated were
Like $1,000.
$999. That was brilliant.
That's awesome.
I'm sure people still
We
bought them.
we actually got tickets the other day to see Guns N' Roses,
Oh, that's awesome.
but I'm so nervous because I'm like, we're in Florida. We're in
Mhm.
Miami, which is even worse than just being in Florida. But it's like they're saying we're going with the honor system. And I'm like, hello, that's not working.
I
So now
know.
with the concerts, when
Yeah.
they first started talking about concerts coming back, I know Ticketmaster and Live Nation were saying that they were going to ask for proof of vaccination.
Mhm.
And now I don't think they're doing that. So it's like, I don't want to be surrounded by people not wearing masks because, hello, we're in South Florida and no one's wearing masks.
Yeah, and WWE is out in Florida, and I know when they started selling tickets to WrestleMania months back, they were doing the whole waiver. If you got COVID or anything happened due to COVID, they weren't held liable. And for the price of tickets, that's insane. I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel comfortable doing that.
Mm-mm.
It's like saying, I know you're gonna get it, so here's a waiver saying I'm not
For
responsible for
real.
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I went to the mall the other day for the first time with Brianna
Mhm.
because she started working. So we had to go get her a uniform. And I'm like, I was so nervous about going to a mall because like I've been to stores, but majority of the people are wearing masks. I
Yeah.
didn't know what the mall was going to look like. I'm like, the majority was, I want to say like maybe 90% of the
Mhm.
people were, but you still get the people that are not. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you not wearing one? I'm just not comfortable.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Brianna is the 16-year-old niece,
She
right?
just turned 17.
17, yeah. Her birthday was like last week or so.
Hmm.
Yeah. And she's had COVID and she's gotten vaccinated, right?
Yeah. She's getting her second dose of the vaccine on Sunday.
How were the COVID symptoms for her going through the whole entire thing?
She had, well, her and my brother both had it at the same time. He was fine. He just had like pains in his legs,
Mhm.
which was weird. She had like a really bad cold. So, and she had a fever. I think it was like 102 fever for like 4 days. She had headaches, cough, everything. And she
Yeah.
had that for maybe three weeks or 4 weeks.
Yeah, for people who think that it's going to be like 10 days and over, it's not, for some people, they get fortunate and it is 10 days or less. For a lot of
Yeah.
people, it's not just, getting through, the early days, it's, the long-term effects.
Hmm.
And I think that's what's scary, like the fact that you don't know for how long you're going to be getting side effects.
Exactly. Yeah, those long haul.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and she's a healthy 16-year-old. You know what I mean? I mean, she didn't have to go to the hospital or anything, but she still had it pretty bad. So
Yeah, even healthy people are at risk, I believe. And I know like bodybuilders or health nuts that were getting COVID and dying from it because
yeah.
they just thought, oh, I have a healthy immune system, I'll be fine. And
And then you hear some people that have asthma and other things and they're fine. So it's like you just don't know. You can't.
yeah, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah. And I don't want to find out which side I would be on. So I would rather not.
Yeah, and I'm constantly around my nephews who can't get vaccinated yet because they're under 12,
Yeah.
and my parents who are elderly over 70, and I don't want to expose them to it more than anything. Like I don't like, if I get it, whatever happens happens. I'm not too overly confident that I'll survive, but if I don't, if as long as it's just me, it's fine.
Yeah.
But there's people around me who I want to take care of.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, my dad passed away 6 years ago. So all I have is my mom. So
Yeah.
we're like, I mean, my niece lives with my brother. So when they had it, they were together separate
Mhm.
from us. But it's like, I'm not trying to get my mom sick.
Yeah. And aside from that, like I think the mental toll on all of us, not just the people who got it, is immense. And getting through that, it's gonna be a whole different ordeal that I'm sure people haven't accounted for. I know here in California there are free hotlines and centers you can go to get help if you're struggling with some sort of mental disability or issue because of this. But
Hmm.
how many states are doing that? I don't know if you've heard anything in Florida or of anywhere else trying to combat the mental side effects of all this.
I haven't heard anything in Florida. I mean, there could be something, but I haven't heard of anything.
Outside of vaccination centers, since I worked at a couple of them, there was always tables set up for people who wanted any kind of assistance with the mental health issues.
Really?
Yeah, and I hadn't seen that anywhere. I hadn't seen that on social media of people posting about it. And for me, I know I've struggled with a lot of stuff over these last couple of months, and getting help is probably something that it is something I have been seeking out. I just recently took a mental health evaluation and tested very high for both depression and anxiety. So I'm now in a 12 session program to try to help with that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, hopefully that helps. I'm not sure if that is going to help, but I'm trying to avoid medication as much as humanly possible because for me personally, I don't like taking medication, and I feel that the medication has more side effects than anything natural or trying to deal with this my own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when things were bad, like really bad down here,
Mhm.
um, the town that I live in, they were doing these like mental health, I don't know what they were called. They were going live on like Facebook,
Mhm.
but they would have like mental health professionals come in and talk on there, and they were offering free meetings at their office. But I mean, I think that was only for like a limited period of time. I don't think they're doing that anymore, but the same with me. I mean, I had really bad anxiety where like I would get a headache and I'm like, oh my God, is it a blood clot? Like I would just freak out that I had something crazy. So they were going to put me on Lexapro, and I really didn't want to take a medication because I mean, I take Xanax when I need to if I'm having like a panic attack or something, but I try not to. So I started walking. I started just going walking and getting sun and fresh air, and that helped. So I haven't taken the medication and I feel much better.
I think that's great. One of the biggest issues for me is the fact that there are so many contradicting information out there.
Yeah.
Like some people say that getting sunlight doesn't help because that is inactive vitamin D that doesn't really do anything in your body. It's not useful as much as active vitamin D, which you get from eating plants, which I do plenty. I eat my veggies, I eat my fruits, like
Yeah.
like stuff like that is always abundant here at my house. We have two growing kids who need that type of energy, who need to be healthy.
Yeah.
So the vitamin D thing, like I'm not sure if getting sunlight helps. I mean, I hardly get sunlight. My room is always dark.
Hmm. So maybe you need sunlight.
Maybe
Go get some sun.
I have been going out a bit, not as
Hmm.
much as before. There are plenty of events coming up, so I am hoping to get out to some of those. But I'm not a big fan of sunlight.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That might
Um,
help with the depression too, though. Sun.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, being around people is both good and bad.
You don't have to
But
go around people. Go walk. Go walk by
uh,
yourself.
I walk plenty, trust me about that.
Yeah, I put on my AirPods and I have like some playlists that I made. So it's like
Mhm.
the music relaxes me. And then
Yeah.
just going walking by myself, I think it's just getting out of these because I'm working from home. So it's like I'm not traveling anywhere. I'm not out of my house. So I think for me, going out and getting sun and fresh air. But plus, you were talking about vitamin D. I'm like extremely vitamin D deficient. So I have
Mhm.
to take a supplement anyway.
Yeah.
But that plus going outside and everything else, I don't know, that's been helping me.
Yeah, I just recently started working from the office again. Like I walk there since it is walking distance, usually about 10 minutes, and there 10 minutes back, and whatever I spent over there, like I'm outside of the house good for 4 to 8 hours a day, depending
Mhm.
on what I have to do. So yeah, like I'm not constantly here anymore, and I was very inactive for the majority of the time during COVID quarantine, and mm, I think that's affected me a lot because since I've started doing like sports again, I've been getting really sore, not tired, just sore.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I gotta say that being physically active gets me more pumped than it does tired. So at night I still can't sleep. Yeah. It's
Jesus.
yeah. That's no surprise. Come on, anybody who knows me knows I'm awake till like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm like, can I text him at this time? Yeah, he's up.
Yeah, most people are like, yeah, he's up, and most of the time I am awake. I've been doing a better job at not touching my phone after midnight,
Hmm.
but sometimes I'm just laying there in bed and I'm like, it's 2 in the morning. I've given it enough time. I could grab my phone again for a bit.
And then you're up for 3 hours down the
No,
rabbit hole.
I mean, nonetheless, at night, what I do is I put on my headphones and I put sleep meditation or some sort of music playlist or something just to like have something on while I try to fall asleep,
Hmm.
and that helps. I mean, I I've mentioned on my on podcast before how I have, I think it's called Michelle's Sanctuary on one of these apps called Insight Timer,
Hmm.
which is she does really good sleep stories slash sleep meditation stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, that helps. It's really soothing to just listen to and fall asleep to.
When I was having trouble with anxiety, one of my friends was telling me to meditate, and I was like, I can't. I can't do that. I think
Here,
that's something you have to like really look into before you try doing that because I know they say like focus on breathing and like shutting off your brain and I'm like I can't. When I try to do that, it's like everything starts spinning even more.
I would say, yeah, shutting off your brain is impossible. So when people
That's because we have anxiety.
I meditate, but usually the way I meditate isn't, like focus on one thing. It's more like sorting through all the thoughts going through my head and acknowledge one and let it go, acknowledge the next one, let it go, and try to just sort through things.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's difficult, and it's something you need to work on to get to do better and better every single time.
Hmm.
I mean, try like a minute a day for the next week of just meditation. Like sift through those thoughts in your head and see how many of them you could get through before you like completely lose focus and it all
Pass
starts
out.
spinning out of control.
Yeah,
You are not going to pass out.
I know.
But yeah, both depression and anxiety have very conflicting symptoms. And I think for anxiety, the biggest one is that whole, spinning out of control thing, because depression just adds on to that.
Hmm.
And that's when panic attacks happen. Uh, for you, what was a panic attack like?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a really stupid example of something that happened to me recently.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know if something happened to me while I was sleeping or what, but I was sitting there watching TV and I was like, I felt like I couldn't find the resting position for my jaw.
Hmm.
And for some reason, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So it was like, because I couldn't find the resting position, it felt like if I didn't hold my chin there, it was just gonna like drop. So I had to go lay down and I started sweating and I couldn't breathe. And so I had to take a Xanax. But
Yeah.
that's usually what it is for me. I just can't stop thinking about something.
How often is it that you have to take a Xanax?
No, not often. Sometimes I'll take it if I'm having trouble sleeping.
Hmm.
I'll take one and then I'll have a really good night's sleep and then I won't have to take it for a while. So I'm not I'm not big on medications. So if I don't have to take something, I'm not gonna take it. But my Xanax are like super low dose too. So it's not like it like I'm not like a zombie.
So during quarantine, did you find yourself having to take it more often?
I wouldn't say more often because I'm stubborn. So I try to like work through stuff myself. And if I get to the point where I just can't, then I'll take one. But I wouldn't say more often.
How about would you at least consider taking them a little bit more often because of the quarantine time and all that
No,
time
I think
spent on your
because
own?
I think it's because I was nervous about the virus and I knew I was home, so I was safe.
Mhm.
So I wasn't really like panicked about that. I think recently my anxiety like built up over this whole time because I was home. So it's like it's just the not going out thing that started getting to me more than anything else.
Not going out wasn't bad for me. I'm a homebody anyways. I prefer to be home. And I think a lot of people, their anxiety built up to the point where I know people who quit their jobs because they cannot handle the pressure of actually having to go in anymore.
Hmm.
And that seems kind of crazy to me. Like I know I've struggled with getting out of bed in the morning, like
Hmm.
not having that motivation to even step a foot off bed. Like it's exhausting, and
Hmm.
like that's definitely part of the depression. And there were days where, like it took me a good 2 to 3 hours to get out of bed because I just couldn't be motivated.
Oh my God.
And by the time I did get out of bed, it was so mentally exhausting that I was just a zombie throughout the rest of the day, which is one of the reasons why I stopped podcasting because I didn't want to sound like a zombie every single time I got on the mic.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to it. It's just something I needed to take as a personal thing.
Yeah.
But having your anxiety build up to the point where you can't make it to the office so you can work, do you feel like that has ever been part of the way you've handled your anxiety? Like, did that ever come to mind? Like, if I have to go back to the office, can I?
Well, I had to go into the office for training one day, and I was like, I was kind of in a panic about it. Like, my boss told me about it, and I was like, I really don't want to do that because I don't know what they're doing.
Hmm.
Like, I know I'm home, I'm not doing anything, and I wear a mask when I go out. Like, I'm being careful. I'm like germophobic on a regular day anyway. So
Hmm.
with this, it's like I was already washing my hands multiple times a day. You know what I mean? I was already doing some of those things. So for me, it wasn't that big of a change, but having to go to the office and train with someone, it's like you have to sit next to them, and I didn't want to do that. So for like 3 or 4 days leading up to that day, I was like tense and I had anxiety. So I went and it was okay. I mean, I was like, I wore two masks and I sat as far away as I could and whatever. But when I came home, my cat wasn't using the litter box. And I'm like, oh my God, this cat was stressed out because I was stressed leading up to me going to work. And he just decided he was going to stop peeing. So I had to
Wow.
take him to the vet. Like, oh my God, that stressed me out.
Yeah, I know. Not everybody goes into work where I'm at anymore. There's like about four of us in a building at the moment, so that's not bad because I'm in one area, the other
Yeah.
person's in another area, and each person kind of has like their own area.
Hmm.
But to me, it's just like what's gonna happen when we have 25 kids join us for class, or
Yeah.
the robotics team has to come in. They have to be in close proximity so they can do their work.
Hmm.
Like I can't picture that right now. Like I know I
Yeah, that
double
would
mask.
scare me.
I still double mask even though here in LA we don't have that mandatory anymore.
Hmm.
But like we're keeping on top of it. We're trying to keep going with the mask at least until the new year.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, I don't have a.
we have a huge event coming up where it's like an open house type thing because we're reopening and it's the 20 we'd missed the 25th anniversary of the organization, so we're kind of
Mhm.
making up for lost time and having a celebration, and that kind of scares me a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the plan is to have at least 100 people join us for that celebration.
No.
Yeah, that seems, yeah, a little too much for me right at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got lucky because we've been working from home since March, But a few months ago, our boss told us that since everything has been working with everyone at home, they're closing our office and we're just going to stay working from home. So I don't have to really worry about going to the office, but
I think that's going to be the same thing for a lot of businesses and people who
yeah,
own
because they don't have to
buildings.
pay rent up at
Yeah.
on the buildings. I'm like, okay, but please include that in my salary, please.
Well, it should be kind of an increasing your salary because you have to be using a lot of your home resources now, I would
It's
think.
not. Yeah, but it's not. It's messed up. I know. I had to go
yeah.
buy a desk and everything.
You had to go buy a desk. You didn't have a desk? What kind of
No,
person doesn't have a desk?
I have a desk. I'm sitting at my desk, but I have my Mac computer, but they
Uh-huh.
send us, we have work computers
Yeah.
because I work with my mom. So we're both working from home.
Yeah.
But we have these two computers and two big ass monitors. And I'm like, I can't put that on my little desk in my room.
Mhm.
So we're working in the living room. We had to buy like a double desk.
So both of you slack off in the same room?
False. I did not slack off.
So which one of us has notes for this podcast?
That is not the same.
I took time. I've
That's
been
a low
working.
blow.
I've been working a lot these last couple of days, and I still took time to make notes and a lot of other stuff
But we've only
along with
talked about
this.
one thing.
We've talked about
What's
two
on your
things.
notes?
Well, the next thing on my notes, now that I switched off of it because we were talking about something else, is blogging has been non-existent for the last couple of months for us.
Yeah,
Well, for one of
me.
us more than other.
I'm gonna hang up. I feel attacked.
Nonetheless, this weekend was the Global Rick and Morty Day. Did you do anything for Global Rick and Morty Day? It was
No,
pretty
I didn't even
awesome,
know that was
actually.
a thing. I
So
don't watch that.
how can you not watch
You're
Rick
gonna
and
hang
Morty?
up on me?
No, I mean, I expected. You watch a lot of stuff that I don't
If it
watch.
if it makes a difference, I bought my niece a Rick and Morty shot glass and a shirt for her to give my brother for Father's
Oh,
Day.
okay. I was gonna say, why
Why'd I
would you
give her
buy
a
your
shot glass?
niece? Yeah, the greatest art ever.
Duh. I took her to get her first tattoo the other day.
What was it?
She got 3 number ones here. She says it's her angel number.
Interesting. Three
Yeah.
number ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for Global Rick and Morty Day, it was the premiere, season 5 premiere of Rick and Morty, and they blasted a model of Rick's spaceship into space with a little TV in it, so they can live stream the episode off of that TV. So the premiere happened in space.
Awesome.
How cool is that? I think that's like the first show to premiere their show in space. No, not cool. I geeked out
I
over it.
guess.
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, who came up with that idea? I would want to be in that, room where they came up
The
with that
idea
idea.
room.
Yeah. One person, like probably just joking around said, why don't we premiere it in space? And somebody else said, that's a great idea.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Elon Musk.
No.
It's pretty cool. They also teamed up with Wendy's. So there was a Wendy's here in California in Panorama City that for 4 days, I believe, or 3 days, was called Morty's.
For
And they
real?
served, yeah. And their drive-through was all lit up with LEDs. So it was like an experience going through the drive-through. People who
Oh my
went got a
god.
special menu, and you were able to try Pickle Rick's pickle flavored frosty.
Okay, that's disgusting. I like
Why?
pickles, but a pickle flavored frosty? That should not be a thing.
It's a take on their vanilla frosty.
Yeah, I know, but that's good. Not the pickle
Why
flavored
not?
frosty. Cause
I wanted to try it. It's a little far for
No.
me to go, but I wanted to go try it.
You would have tried a pickle flavored frosty.
Yep.
Jesus. I worry for you.
Why? It's pickles. Pickles are
That's gross.
awesome.
Yeah, but not like
Pickles are
an
good for
ice
your health.
cream. I like pickles. I just don't want a pickle flavored anything.
No. So I've been posting on my blog. You can, if you go, you can watch the trailer for The Protege. I don't know if you've seen it.
I
It's
feel like the way you said that was an attack on me.
not everything's about you, Kristen.
Yes, apparently it is.
No, there's just the negative stuff, you know.
Ugh. Carry on.
Yeah. So if you go to see the Protege trailer, it's pretty awesome trailer. I want to watch the movie. I have a couple of invites. I just think that going to a screening room of 60 seats is not necessarily something I want to do at the moment.
Mm-mm.
So I'm trying to get a screener link sent to me so I can watch it from home. And once again, I feel like I've been spoiled because for the last year I have been watching screeners at home and I think it's awesome.
And you
If I
haven't
don't
told me about any of these.
I haven't. Yes, I have.
No, you have not. Nope, not
Maybe.
one.
I talk to people about them. I guess it's just not you.
I'm hanging up now.
Yeah, so there's also a couple of interviews I did for some of the screeners I watched, like La Dosis, which is a really awesome movie about a nurse, one nurse who was very sympathetic, or not, yeah, I guess sympathetic of his dying patients, and he would help euthanize them when they were, critical and not able to recover from their illness.
Which I think should be a thing.
Sometimes I think there is a process to do that, and it's hell to go through. So if you get approved, that's great. If you don't, that kind of leaves you in a very vulnerable position.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, aside from that, the second they hire another nurse who is similar, but he just ends up killing people for the joy of killing people.
Well, that took a turn.
Yeah. And watching this movie was intense. I know it took me like about a week of just like thinking about it and wanting to rewatch it and trying to figure out, wow, would this be something that happens if euthanization would be something nurses can do? Like, would they just take it upon themselves to, I don't know, to euthanize people just because they wanted to?
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. But yeah, the movie is incredible. The ending is fantastic. Like it answers the question, like, could you be able to tell the truth if you're somehow an accomplice to what's happening?
Mm-mm. What is it called?
La Dosis. It's an Argentinian film.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. I believe it's on Voodoo. I can't remember, but yeah, I recommend it. You should watch it. I, I
Maybe.
I would like to hear your opinion on it, even though like, yeah, it's kind of not in your movie realm.
What is my movie realm?
I don't know, a lot of
You know me so well. Don't say what. A
I
lot
don't
of
know.
what?
I would say comedies. I don't think
Okay,
horror
yeah,
or
that's a good one.
suspense are your cup of tea.
No, I
But
like
talking
comedies.
about comedies, I recently had an interview with one of an actress I find extremely talented. She had a very intense role in um a movie I kind of featured it last year or 2 years ago, and this year she's doing a movie called Introducing Jodea, which is extremely funny. It's a take on Hollywood actresses and what they have to go through. A lot of rejection, a lot of like very cruel ways to let you down when you don't get a role in a film. It's
Hmm.
just funny. I don't want to give anything away of that because I think that's one of like the key elements to this movie.
Hmm.
So that might be something you would enjoy.
What is that on?
Um, right now I think it's in the indie film festival circuit. So
Hmm.
not somewhere you can probably get it at the moment, but I believe it's going to come to Amazon soon.
Oh, so only people with the screeners were able to watch it.
Or who want to go out to a film festival.
Did you do that?
No,
No, you got a screener and you watched it at
of
home.
course. I'm
You
not
could have
gonna
shared.
I couldn't share it with you. I'd be
No, you can give me the information.
mhm, maybe. I don't know. We'll see about that. What have you been watching in this time of quarantine?
I'm not allowed to talk to you about that because you don't like the show that I'm watching.
Well, I've been watching a show you might remember called Smallville.
Tom Welling.
I'm on, oh, I just finished season 5, which is insane because I just started watching it 3 weeks ago. God,
Oh my God, Jesus.
I've gone through 115 episodes in 3 weeks.
Mm-mm.
That's insane.
I know because I didn't watch it when it was on. I binged it like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago.
Mhm,
But I did the same thing. I just couldn't stop. I was watching it at work.
mhm.
I had my phone like under my desk and I was watching it. And then I started reading about that whole sex cult thing that this girl was in. And I
The
was like, what
Nexium,
is, yeah.
yeah,
I was like, what the
Allison
heck?
Mack.
Yeah.
She's pretty awesome. I think yeah, like the whole sex cult thing was like I know when I heard about it, it was like about 5 or 6 years ago before all this stuff kind of broke and the guy got arrested. I think the year
Hmm.
before the guy got arrested when all the media attention was happening on the actual cult instead of,
Yeah.
movies and documentaries and stuff.
Hmm.
But damn, the stuff she did is like unbelievable.
And then you watch her on Smallville. And like, I really liked her character on Smallville. So I'm like, oh my God, this girl.
It's insane because Chloe now became a part of the DC comic universe after being a part of the show, kind of the same way that Harley Quinn became part of the Batman mythology after coming out in the animated series. So
For real.
she created this character in the DC universe.
Interesting.
Yeah, but now it's kind of tainted with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like recently, I found out she divorced a wife she had to marry because she was in this cult.
Yeah. I heard about that too.
That's insane. Like I can't believe how deep this thing got.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did you
Have you
watch
the
the,
vow
yes.
on Netflix? I have not watched it mostly because I feel like I'm gonna be disappointed at a lot of it. Because some people told me, oh, it goes very deep into everything that happened, and other people were like, it just seems like they were going at it from one point of view and didn't give any credit to anything else.
I don't know. I liked it.
Hmm.
Because I mean they have like recordings and home video footage and stuff like that. So you know it's not like these people making stuff up. There's
Mhm.
actual video. I mean that guy was I don't know who the hell would listen to that guy. The stuff that he was saying, I would have been like, who are you?
Yeah, and I don't know, but that's usually the way cults work. I just recently heard a podcast. I think it was Mayim Bialik's Breakdown podcast.
Hmm.
Her guest was once in a cult and now helps reform people who leave cults.
Hmm.
And he said, stuff like people get caught up in this and they're brainwashed and there's not much they can do about it. And a lot of the stories that he said like make you think of organizations that are, very prominent at the moment and how their people kind of reiterate exactly what these cults do.
Yeah.
And it's scary. Like, what can you trust now?
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. You should watch that show though.
Maybe I needed to find something new to watch because I have 4 more seasons of Smallville to go through, and I don't want to go through them as quickly as I've gone through these 5 seasons. Even though Michael Rosenberg, which plays Lex, is an amazing actor, and I listen to his podcast too, and he
I
does an
love his
amazing,
podcast.
yeah, he does an amazing podcast. And for Tom Welling, I remember interviewing him for
I'm hanging up.
Lucifer, right?
I'm hanging up.
Yeah, and it was funny because in that room, even though he was on another show, all the questions were about Smallville.
Of
Would you ever
course.
reprise Superman? Would you ever play Clark Kent again? Are you
I
gonna be in
mean,
Supergirl?
let's be real. He should have been.
No. I
Yes.
think he did well for that time, but he is more than just Superman or Clark Kent.
Well, yeah, of course.
He's done other stuff since then,
I
and
know,
he's
but
been,
still.
but I feel like going back to that will just overshadow everything he's ever gonna be trying to do from now on in his career. So, like, yes, I would like to see him as Clark Kent again, but in a career move, I think he's better off not doing it.
Stop it. No, they have to do something on what is that show? Superman and Lois. I don't watch that stuff.
Oh, that's a good show.
I watched Supergirl for a while, but then I stopped because it started
Oh,
getting like repetitive.
and it's ending, and that's sad. I really wish there was more seasons to that show.
But didn't they do something with those shows like crossovers where they had like that same character from a different like was it a planet or
Well,
whatever?
it was the multiverse shows, the
Yeah, so
crossover
they can have him
events.
do that.
No, because part of what happened at the end of those crossovers, which if people haven't seen it, this is a spoiler alert. There is no multiverse after that.
Oh
They
my
combined
God,
everything.
you just ruined it.
Yeah, so there isn't multi people out there anymore, and that multiverse is over.
Thanks a lot, Jesus.
Uh, But yeah,
To answer your question before, I'm watching Friends, your favorite show ever.
I still don't like that show. I have no idea why I don't. I just find those characters annoying to me.
But that's what makes them so funny.
No, it
Yes,
can't be the only reason why it's funny.
it is so funny.
No, it's not funny. It's
Yes.
not even
And also,
sarcastic
it
funny.
makes me really jealous because I wish I had a group of friends like
Oh, trust.
not like
Oh,
that, but
maybe not you, but the regular person, if they think about it enough, they have their own Ross and Rachel and Joey in their lives.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I know you're an old grandma who stays home all day.
False. It's that the only friends I really talk to on a regular basis all live in different states.
True, true.
Who would you be?
I don't know,
Chandler.
because I'm the grumpy one.
Yeah.
It's funny because I got contacted in the beginning of pandemic because they were gonna have this like friends virtual tour thingy, and I'm like, sure, I think I could do it, and then I completely blanked on it, and the day before they messaged me like, oh, we're having a friends trivia night, and I'm like,
I hate you
oh,
forever.
I
I
don't
hate
want
you
enough
forever.
friends to do a trivia night. I mean, I
I
used
do.
to when I was growing up, I did watch it every so often because it was like the only thing on during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sad.
I love that show.
Why?
Cause it's so funny.
Yeah, doing this on Zoom is kind of weird with you.
Why?
I don't know. I'm so used to podcasting where I can't see you.
I know that is weird, right? We've never even FaceTimed. This is the first time I have a conversation with you where I actually see your face.
Seriously. I think Mike is the only person I've ever video chatted with while
Oh my God,
podcasting.
we had to get Mike on here one day.
On a like, well, he's a busy guy. Come on.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just kidding. Yes, he is.
He has what, two kids and a business and wife to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah. How's the love life for you?
non-existent
Mm-hmm.
as usual.
Why? What?
I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic for one. I'm not trying to go near anybody.
There was a cool movie I saw during pandemic about dating during a pandemic. What was it called? It was really funny too. They had a socially distanced sex scene, which was amazingly funny and bizarre. And I'm like, this is the best scene of the movie.
Mm-mm. How is that even possible?
It was kind of like phone sex, but in person. Think about
Interesting.
think about that, and yeah, it is. It was extremely entertaining to watch, and awkward and uncomfortable, and it was amazing, and probably one of the best scenes in that movie.
So you were watching COVID porn.
No, it was not COVID porn.
Sure.
Trying to see what that movie was.
Oh, I'm also rewatching Game of Thrones.
I never got into Game of Thrones.
Ugh.
Called Love and Dangerous Times. It's a movie that was filmed during pandemic, about pandemic, while socially distanced. A lot of these scenes are the couple interacting over FaceTime, which I thought was really cool, and them getting to know each other over FaceTime. And I'm like, this is the way dating should be in person too.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, like I've talked to people about this like whole quickie relationship type things. Like, you will go out on one date and all of a sudden you're married. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
No,
Or maybe I'm just old already.
that is accurate.
I mean, there's a bunch of white hair now.
Oh my God, like 2 weeks ago, my hair was all white here. Now it's not.
Because you found the fountain of youth.
Yes, Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also watching Cruel Summer.
I like Cruel Summer. What's her name? Harley Quinn Smith is on that, right?
Yeah.
And the lead actress, I don't remember her name. I don't know, but it is an amazing show, and
Olivia Holt.
yes,
Yeah, that show's really good.
it's incredible to think that it's based on true events.
It is?
Apparently, I was reading somewhere. I gotta remember to like look this up for next time. But yeah, like they were saying how this is a story based on something that actually happened in the 1980s.
Oh, that's crazy. It's funny because I was watching and I was like, it's crazy to think that these things happen that we don't hear about,
Mhm.
but like that probably happens often and that's scary.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine all the stuff that you do hear about that's so insane, and now all the stuff that you don't hear about, it makes your like imagination go crazy places.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that
yeah,
it does.
Crazy Summer is on Hulu.
Cruel Summer.
Cruel Summer is on Hulu.
Yeah.
What else did you say you watch? Friends, that's on Hulu,
No, that's
right?
on HBO Max.
So many of these damn
Uh,
streaming sites now. Do you have Peacock Plus or whatever it's called now?
no.
I hear there's a lot of good stuff on that. I know Girls Five Eva is on there, and
Oh yeah, I
I thought
saw a
that was
trailer for
funny.
that.
That one's funny, and it's amazing how Sarah Bareilles went from such an incredible singer to now somebody you see on TV that is an incredible actress on the show as well.
Mhm.
and it has Busy Phillips for people who remember, I don't know, shows like, what was it? Dawson's Creek?
Yeah, I think she was on Dawson's Creek.
Do you remember Dawson's Creek?
I do.
Was that always the one of the shows you would wait for every single week?
Yes.
That's funny because I was telling my nephews about how they're lucky because they get to binge watch stuff like
Ugh.
one day.
Uh-huh.
Like you're never gonna know the cruel existence that was waiting a week for your show to come back.
And no way to rewatch it.
Yeah.
And if you missed it, you missed it. Yeah.
No going back in time when your little box to watch it.
Nope.
Insane.
How
But
did
now
we
you
live?
much
How
better
did we
lives.
survive? No, we had better lives because we had no smartphones. But I don't know about the whole recording process of TV shows. That we needed.
I don't know if we needed it. I mean, if I didn't used to watch something, I didn't it didn't matter. But now it's like if you don't watch something, you feel like you're dying or something. Like
I don't.
uh I know I talk to people, and if I mention something they didn't get to watch, they're like, "Where have I been? Under a rock my entire life?" I'm like, "It came out yesterday. You have time."
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of cool stuff on Disney Plus coming up. We just watched Luca with my nephew,
Mhm.
and we had been watching the trailer for so long, and he's like, "It's the Little Mermaid, but boy version," and I'm like,
Oh my
"It
God.
kind of is." I had
So
never thought
cute.
about it. Yeah, but my little nephew is incredibly observative about this stuff. Like
Mhm.
he'll point out stuff that I don't even pay attention to, and I'm like, "Wow, you're only 8."
That's a kid for you.
Yeah,
They pay
yeah.
attention to details. We don't.
He just got into a show called Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn. It's about quadruplets, 3 boys and 1 girl.
Mhm.
And he's super obsessed with it. Like I think he's watched it only came out like 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and he's already rewatched the seasons like 3 times.
Oh my God. That sounds like Brianna.
Yeah.
Brianna starts watching shows on Netflix and then she watches, like, she's watched New Girl, I don't know how many times. Vampire Diaries, don't know how many times. Teen Wolf, Outer Banks.
No
She
wonder she got
watches the
along with
same
Mike.
shows. But I'm like, can you watch something else?
Yeah.
Like, watch another show. Oh, she watched Cruel Summer.
Did she like it?
Yeah, she liked it.
It's made for her generation, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's not made for us as much.
So,
But yeah, like with my little nephew, it's always the same constant cycle of shows. Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn. I think that's what it's called. And I know that's their names. I just don't know if that's the order. I know Dawn
mhm.
is always the last one because there's an episode where they're like Nikki, Ricky, Dicky, and the one that doesn't rhyme. Yeah. Um, Milo Murphy's Law. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
Mm-mm.
No, you would enjoy it. It's pretty cool. I thought it was super funny. There's a couple of voices in that show you might recognize, like Weird Al Yankovic, I believe, is the voice of Milo,
Mhm.
and Sabrina Carpenter is the voice of, I don't remember her name right now, the girl on the show.
What is it called?
Milo Murphy's Law. It's all about Murphy's Law, and Milo, like, bad things always happen to him, and he has to figure out how to like get out of weird situations.
Mhm. What is
Have
that
you
on?
on Disney Plus?
Oh,
Have you ever watched Phineas and Ferb?
I used to watch that with Brianna.
Yeah, they live in the same town, so
For
it's
real?
yeah. So there's crossover episodes.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Milo Murphy is basically the opposite of Phineas and Ferb. So you know how Phineas and Ferb, nothing bad can ever go back with them.
Mhm.
For Milo Murphy, it's the opposite. Everything bad always goes with him. So he's kind of like Doofenshmirtz, but small, child, like, And Doofenshmirtz becomes a good guy in that show. He changes his name to Professor Time
What the heck?
because he invents a time machine. He has his first actual invention that works, a time machine. So yeah, it's a good show.
I'm gonna tell her to watch it because I don't know if she knows about that.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
She's never said anything though.
And Perry makes appearances, and there's a new animal. It's a dog called DOG, and he's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Because of the nephews, I watch a lot of kids stuff now.
I used to get made fun of in high school because I used to like watching Disney movies. And I'm like, so
Nothing wrong with
what?
Disney movies. Did you watch
Exactly.
Cruella?
No, not yet.
We'll talk about it later. I have my opinions on that, but yeah, if you haven't watched it, no need to talk about it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. The only movie I saw recently was Mortal Kombat.
What did you think of that?
It was all right. It wasn't like I didn't not like it, but I
I
wouldn't
thought it
watch it
was
again.
amazing action with no story, or at least no story consistency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's accurate.
there's a story somewhere in there, just too jumbled up for us to actually pay attention to.
Yeah.
But those action scenes were amazing.
Yeah, but then I was also like, okay, well, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, like they were together for like 2 seconds.
Mhm. Even though they were the
Like those
major
were always
focus.
the players. Those were always the players that we picked when
Yeah,
we were
but
playing that game.
those were like that was the main focus of the trailer. And then they're not actually together
Yeah,
much.
that's how they get you.
Yeah.
But
But
like, watch this.
it has great action. And
Yeah,
the special effects are pretty good too.
yeah, I
But
agree.
other than that, I really wanted more from the story.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to it at all.
Uh,
It wasn't bad though. I didn't not like it.
I would rewatch it.
I
I
don't know if
would.
I would.
I thought Jax was pretty awesome too.
They're trying to get me to watch The Conjuring, and I'm like, nope.
I'm gonna watch that tonight. So you might want to watch it so we can talk about it next time.
No, I'm not watching that shit at night. Sorry. That's gonna have to be a
That's the
daytime
best.
thing.
Like, okay, so anytime I talk to people about scary movies, I'm like, you should watch them after midnight in the dark, alone in your room, because then you could really immerse yourself into that storyline.
No, not
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
I
it's
made that
awesome.
mistake when I was watching Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
first
that's an
one,
amazing one.
the first one scared the shit out of me, and I was traumatized by the stupid bent neck lady. I can't.
I think the second one didn't do it as much as the first
No.
one did.
Yeah, the
More,
second one didn't scare me as much.
I think the cast really lacked that charisma that the first cast had.
I don't think it's just that. The second one, they had that one thing where like the story repeated itself, and then I was like, why is that happening? I mean, it wasn't until the last episode that you understood why I was doing that, but I was
Yeah,
like, what is this crap? I feel like I'm watching the same shit over and over again. The first season scared the crap out of me.
yeah.
Oh my God.
And it had one of the little girls from Annabelle Part 2.
Wait, who was that? McKenna Grace?
No, the other one. I don't remember her name.
I
But
was watching the first season, and there was the episode where the
yeah.
sisters are in the car. And when that
Mhm.
happened, my power went out. And I was like, nope.
I have a cool story, but this was when I lived in North Carolina. We were watching Constantine with Keanu Reeves, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And you know that part, have you seen Constantine?
I think I saw it. I don't know if I saw the whole thing.
Okay, there's a part where they're standing outside in the street and all of a sudden the lights start blowing out from the
Hmm.
street lights. And at the last one blows out and it goes pitch dark. And when that last one went out, we had lightning hit like outside
Oh my
and
God.
everything went black.
Mm-mm.
So we had that bang noise both coming from the TV and from the outside.
Mm-mm.
And then we went outside and one of our pots was smoking.
I would have
So
shit myself.
yeah, it was awesome. And we're like, yeah,
It was
maybe we should
awesome.
finish this in the morning. It was
See,
like
that's why I like watching that stuff in the daytime.
it was like 2 or 3 a.m. when that happened. So yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and then one of our neighbors called. It's like, there's smoke coming from your porch.
Oh my God.
We're like, what are you doing at 3 a.m. watching our porch?
Creeper.
Nah, his wife was a prenatal surgeon, so she would
Mm.
leave to work like 3 in the morning. So he'd make sure she got out to her car safe and
Okay,
sound.
well then
Yeah.
I take it back. He's not a creeper.
He was a good guy.
You have to
Probably
try to convince Brianna to watch Haunting of Hill House.
she should do it.
I've tried. She won't.
Why?
Because she's a chicken. She's worse than me.
We should have like a Zoom party to watch it.
Yes. Oh, we should do that and record it.
Maybe. That'd be
Oh my
interesting.
God. Yes,
I
it
mean,
would.
there is that Netflix watch
No,
together
forget it. I'm
thing
not
now,
watching
right?
that. I'm not watching that shit again because the bent neck lady, I had to sleep with my lights on for like a week.
I like watching scary movies because of that. Like anything that makes you feel stuff does its job. Like if a
I don't want to
rom-com,
feel like someone standing at the end of my bed with a bent neck.
that's an interesting thought.
I can't.
I can just imagine you texting me in the morning like it happened again.
That shit scared me more than anything else on that show.
Anything else you're watching?
Well, I was watching, well, binging or watching.
Either one, as long as you want to mention it.
I mean, I've been watching New Amsterdam, The Resident, Lucifer. Now I have to
Anything else?
watch Home After Dark. Is that what it's called? It's on Apple TV.
Home Before Dark.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
You said After Dark.
No, I said Home After Dark. Oh, Home Before Dark?
I think so. Because it's about a
Let's
kid
look it up.
detective.
That show's really good.
It is. The ending is going to be a little bit confusing, I think.
What, of the second season?
Yeah,
Are you watching it?
I am.
I haven't started the second season
I think
yet.
I mentioned it to Mike and he was going to watch it.
Oh, it is Home Before Dark. My bad.
Yeah, because it's about a little kid who's a detective. They have to be home before dark. They tell her constantly.
Oh, and the second season of C is coming out, and I like that show too.
Should I watch that? Am I going to be bored with it?
Yes, maybe. But it's Jason Momoa.
I'm always like, I should watch this. And then I completely blank out on what I should be watching.
The thing is, it's interesting because they're blind. Like nobody can see
Interesting.
except his kids.
Yeah.
Well, they're not
And
they're not really his kids, but
I know I've been watching Luis Miguel La Serie on Netflix, which is also why I did cut some of these interviews because I like it's gonna be shocking, but I am a Luis Miguel fan and I have been listening to his music since I was a kid because it's like my mom's favorite singer. It was my grandma's favorite singer. So I grew up with this and then watching all this, I'm like, damn, this guy went through so much.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I like the guy that plays him on the show.
Diego Boneta. He's
Yeah,
a good actor.
he was on Pretty Little Liars.
and also on Scream Queens, and he's on all these movies coming out, like Die in a Gunfight. He was in New Order that came out, which is a good movie. I don't think you'd enjoy it much because once again, it's a very intense movie. Not scary, just like very. There's a huge creep factor in that. Yeah,
No.
but yeah, you're right. He's a good actor, and so is most of the people on that show. Like I haven't had an episode where I was like, oh, this is boring.
Yeah. I might have to watch that one.
Yeah. Do you like Luis Miguel or any Spanish music?
My dad used to listen to him.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Spanish music, but I haven't lately.
No. I had to do an interview in Spanish and my Spanish is horrible. Like I always
Oh my God,
forget
it
that
can't be worse than mine.
maybe, but yeah, like
No.
I always forget that script is guion and role is no, not rollo, God dang it, I forget. But yeah, like I have to practice my questions like 3 days beforehand so I can memorize them. And I'm like, I feel like such a horrible Hispanic.
You're not worse than me. I
Yeah,
can't have a conversation in Spanish.
I can't either. Like I go to some of these I used to go to some of these events and people would talk to me in Spanish and I talk in very broken Spanish, like half Spanish, half English. And yeah, my friend who's Brazilian knows about the same amount of Spanish I do, and she speaks, Portuguese, English, and Spanish now.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I can speak French and some Russian, and yeah,
You can?
yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's horrible, but
But you can.
my Russian friend says it sounds decent, but I'm not comfortable with it. I need to do better. One of my exes used to say I learned to speak different languages so I can hit on women.
Oh my God. Is that why?
No, I think we had this conversation before. Like I want to
Probably.
travel and I want to travel and be able to speak to natives, not just women.
Yeah, that would be nice. I would hate to go somewhere and be like, oh shit, I don't know how to talk to anybody here.
One of my friends is in Spain right now and she went to France. And when she went to France, I'm like, these are the basic things you need to know how to ask. And yeah, we went through like a list of a couple of questions like, how do I get back to my hotel? That's the one question you should always have memorized.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
For real. And avoid hostels.
Because of the movie Hostel.
Yes.
Eli Roth, I think, ruined it for a lot of us because I know friends who stayed at hostels just because like hotels were like $300 a night and hostels
Mm.
are like $15 a night. And they're like, I've never seen the movie. I'm like, great, you shouldn't if you're ever gonna go to a hostel again.
It's funny because I don't remember anything about those movies other than the person that got their Achilles tendon sliced in half. And I'm like, nope.
Yep.
It's the only thing I remember.
Wow. I remember them getting kidnapped. I remember that club scene, which was so not you could tell that was not a US club.
Mm-hmm.
Like people were having way too much fun. Like, have you ever been to a club here
Where?
in the US? Anywhere in the US?
Yeah.
People are usually very standoffish.
Are they?
I think so. Like I've been to a couple of clubs. I guess it's here in LA. Like not many people are dancing, and the ones that are probably completely drunk.
Not many people are dancing. Oh,
Nope.
then yeah, that's way different than here.
Yeah, like I like a couple of clubs. Like most people are just standing around drinking, and the people who are dancing are like you could tell they're completely drunk because they're all over the place.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is different than here. That just I didn't really like going to clubs though.
Yeah.
Too
I've
much
only
smoke.
gone to like 3 or 4 of them, and I'm like, yeah, no more. Golf
Yeah,
clubs
that
aren't
wasn't
that
my
much
thing.
better. So
What?
golf clubs aren't that much better.
Goth clubs?
Yeah.
What is that?
Gothic people
What are they doing?
dancing and being goth.
Goth?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll take my concerts over clubs.
Yeah, I mean, you spend about as much as you would at a concert when you're drinking at a bar, so why not?
This is true.
So you're going to Guns N' Roses now.
And taking Brianna to Harry Styles.
How fun. Don't
Yeah.
act like you're not into it too.
No, I am. I like his music actually.
He's not bad.
He's not like childish. I like
Well,
his stuff. Even my brother kind of likes his
I
music.
agree. He's not teeny bopperish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for people who don't know what teeny bopper is, it's a term we used to use in the 90s for people who were very childish.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got her tickets in front of the stage too. So we're
Very
waiting to
nice.
see if they postpone it again because it was already postponed.
I don't think they're going to postpone it again. I think,
I don't know, but Florida, a lot of these concerts that are coming out, they're not scheduling dates in Florida. They're trying to stay out of here.
yeah. Well, you know, vaccination has very much dropped off, and anybody who wanted to get that vaccine has gotten the vaccine, and now it's just like convincing all these people that they're working. I mean,
Yeah.
I was reading about, I can't remember the name of the little town in Brazil, but it's basically right in the middle of the pandemic where the pandemic hit the most.
Mm-hmm.
There's only about 40,000 people that live there, but they mandated for all adults to get the vaccine, and they reopened everything like months ago because their numbers dropped off. Like
Mm-hmm.
no more people in hospitals, no more people like getting major symptoms. So it's kind of proof that that vaccine is working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we just have to wait and see what that new variant
The Delta variant from
is.
India,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
or that hit India hardest.
Yeah. I think we gotta wait to see what that does here.
Mhm.
Because if
Well,
that hits here, especially down here where
people aren't getting vaccinated.
our lovely governor is,
The person, yeah.
I have no words. But yeah, we just have to see what happens.
We'll see. I mean, it's going to have to get better one way or another.
I don't know.
I mean, we need to get back to some sort of state of normal, or
Mm-hmm. A
at
friend
least.
texted me today and they want to go to a museum in Miami Beach. And I'm like, she's like, are you hesitant about going out still? And I'm like, I'm not hesitant. I've gone out.
Yeah.
I'm just nervous. There's a difference. She's like, we could go to the museum and then we can go out for lunch. And I'm like, restaurant, Miami Beach. I hate it. It's like I'm vaccinated, but I'm still afraid to do things.
Well,
And
we
then I
don't.
see other people out doing stuff and they're not worried about anything.
Like when I go out, I'm completely safe about it. I stay away from people as much as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
Double masked. The only thing I don't do is I don't wear gloves. I think that's a little too much at the moment.
Yeah, I don't do that either. I just do that if I'm putting gas in my car because that grossed me out anyway, touching those things.
Yeah. So many people touch them and you don't
Yeah,
know what they've
that's the
been
only
doing.
time. That's the only time I'll wear one because it's like I don't want to touch that and then get in my car and touch my steering wheel, and
Yeah.
that's the only time I'm really psycho.
Well, anyways, I think we've met our time limit.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're gonna end it here. Hopefully we have more to talk about next week, and some of us should take notes and be prepared.
Was it bad without me having notes? No.
It's more difficult for me.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I'm
Okay,
not
fine.
used to
I'll take
talking.
notes.
Yeah,
Good for you.
it's not at all.
Okay, I'll take notes.
This is needless stress. You're causing me to get more white hairs by the second.
Oh my god. That's false.
If you say so.
I'm giving you therapy. It's free.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. But anyways, where can people reach you online?
Oh my god. I don't even remember. According to Kristin.com, even though I haven't been posting lately. And I'm on Instagram at @thisisKristin_.
Cool. And people could reach me at thisfunktional.com where I post. Hopefully, I started doing it daily, but it's been kind of hectic at the moment. There are posts up there. There will be contests coming up. I believe I'm gonna be giving away some DVDs coming soon and some screening passes as well. I just recently gave away Fandango codes for Cruella, and I know there's one coming up. I can't remember the title of it, but yeah, there will be stuff going up on there that you guys can win. Follow me on Twitter at ThisFunktional, ThisFunkTional. Dysfunctional on Instagram, Dysfunctional LA on Facebook, Dysfunctional on Snapchat, youtube.com/dysfunctional, twitch.com/dysfunctional, and everywhere else you could possibly find me. It's always dysfunctional. Thank you guys for listening. We're sorry we rambled on too long. It's Kristin's fault. Say bye.
Bye.